Okay, let's do a lightning tour of the Journalist Skill Pack. So after you install Ask Steve, you'll be dropped on a page that looks something like this. It has a number of different skill packs, and you can either just click right away just to install it, or if you want to see more details about it, you can expand it and see everything about the Journalist Skill Pack. And now once I have it installed, I have all those skills available to me. So one way I can see those is by clicking on the tab in the bottom right, and then go to the Skills tab, and I can see now all the different skills that have been installed by the skill pack. And there's a number of different ways I can run these skills depending on like what you're doing at any point in time. One way is just directly from here. I'm on the skill, I have it selected, and then I can hit the run button down below and it will run it right then and there. This is great for when you're iterating on a skill, on a prompt, because you can just make your change right there really quickly and then run it, make your change, run it. It will work on either the text that you have selected or on the whole page if nothing is selected. Another way you can do it is from the chat panel. So here you can say, you can bring up a skill picker either by clicking on the skill picker icon or just by hitting the space bar. And then I can say, analyze my writing and tell me if it makes sense, and we'll analyze the writing and do so. And then another way that you can do it on any text is you can highlight some text, and then you can use the right mouse click menu to say ask Steve to, and then you can go to a subcategory and say analyze my writing and tell me if it makes sense, and it will give me the answer in a floating panel on the page. So a number of different ways you can do it depending on like what you happen to have open, and then it will work on either the selection or the whole page. So now let's just run through these skills and let's see. So analyze my writing, tell me if it makes sense. We can see exactly what it's going to do here. You can feel free to edit these and customize them for yourself. Analyze the sentiment of some text. Here, we'll go here. We'll try this article. We'll say run. And it says it's neutral. It's about technology, so that's fine. Analyze my writing for logical reasoning gaps. Here is an article that I wrote many years ago. Let's run it, and it's telling me, okay, these are the potential gaps, and here's different ways that I could address them. Answer questions with cited sources. This is a good one. Let's say I'm looking at the Alphabet IR transcript, and I just want the information about YouTube. I can hit run here, and then tell me about YouTube. It's going to ask me what I want to know, and then it's going to go through, and it's going to pull out all these quotes that are relevant, and then give me a summary all about YouTube. So save me a bunch of time in reading that whole IR thing. So classify this article, I can run that one, and it's going to say this one's about business, but then if I go to this article and run it, it's about technology. Copy edit my writing. So we'll go back to my writing and we'll say run that, and it's giving me a bunch of suggestions on things that I could improve in that article. And let's keep going down the list. Create an outline for an SEO optimized article. This one's not even going to look at the page, it's just going to ask me something. So I'm going to say run, and I'm going to say the use of RPA in healthcare. Let's try that. And then it will create an outline for an article all about that I can then take and flesh out on my own. Expand into nicer language is good for when you're writing stuff. So let's say I'm here and I'm writing, in this case, it's just like a fast email to somebody, but it's written, very poorly, bad grammar, bad English. And now in any editable text field, I can do Command-Shift-K on a Mac or Control-Shift-K on Windows or Chrome OS. And that will bring up the Ask Steve skill picker, where I can either type anything I want or I can pick a skill. In this case, I will pick the expand into nicer language one, and then it actually expands it right in line. Explain this to me in simple terms is a good one. So let's say I'll just go to this article right here and say run, and it gives me like a very quick summary of the article. But if I had some like really complex thing, like actually here, let's go to this page, and I'm going to say, I'm looking about superposition. I don't know anything about superposition. So I'm going to say that and then say, explain that to me in simple terms. And it gives me like a very simple explanation about Schrodinger's cat and coin flips and things like that. Okay, extract the dates and the events. So here's a big long article about Visual Basic 6. And so in this case, I'm going to want to pull out all the dates and events that are mentioned in this article. Oop, I don't have anything selected. Let's try that again. Click here and then run. Okay, so it's running with the whole page. And it's pulling out all the dates and the events that are actually mentioned in that article in chronological order for me. Again, save me a bunch of time. Extract the people information from a web page. So this one is good for, let's say I'm on a page of like speakers at a conference or something like that, and I want to get them all pulled out into table form. And so here, now we can see it's reading the page and getting me name, role, company, and then this isn't even on the page, but it's adding a LinkedIn search link so I can get to that person really quickly. Extract the emails from some text. So I'm going to run that on this page, and it will pull out the one email address that's on this page for me without me having to hunt for it. Fix the formatting is good, again, when you're writing here. So let's say I'm in this text field, and I'm going to say, add emoji to this note. Okay, it added emoji, but it screwed up the formatting. Now let me fix the formatting, and it will fix it all up for me. Generate a list of objections. So if I have an article and I want to run that, it will say, like, what are the things that people might object to in the content that I mentioned so that I can address them ahead of time. Generate a pro-con list. So let's go to this article about AI again, and we'll say run that. And it will talk about the pros of AI and the cons of AI as well. Generate a title or headline for an article. And so here it's suggesting a different potential headline for this. Generate analogies. So if I need some help with that, let me run that. And it kind of gives analogies for AI here. It's using the smartphone, the car, and the internet, and saying it didn't replace something else, but expanded the capabilities. Generate hashtags from text. Let's run that, and it's reading the whole article and generating some hashtags from that. This is a good one for if you're interviewing somebody. This is my profile page, but I can say generate interview questions from bio. So we're going to assume the LinkedIn profile is my bio, and now it's generated a bunch of interview questions for me. Generate synonyms. So I click on it, it will ask me what do I want synonyms for, and I'm going to say, let's say smiling broadly. What are some synonyms for that? And it gives me a bunch that I can just use right in line. Generate the common thread between these ideas. So here, we'll go run that one on my original article, and it talks about that. Give me the perfect word. This is again for like, I need a concept that I want to turn into a word. So being the first one to do something, and it gives me the word for that. So not like synonyms, but more, I can get things that encapsulate a concept. Improve the text structure, style, and coherence. This is another like editing one. You can play with all the different ones that are here and see which ones you like, and you can edit them to your liking. And similarly with improve this writing, it will look at things and kind of give me a bunch of improvements, make this more clear and concise, also kind of very similar. Okay, redact any personally identifiable information. Let's go to LinkedIn. We will highlight my profile, and we will ask Steve to do that. Let's see, where is that redaction one? It's under here, redact any personally identifiable info. So you can see it's taken anything that theoretically is PII and replaced it with XXX. Okay, where were we in the list? We're making our way down. Suggest accompanying visuals. So if I have an article and I run it, it will suggest the visuals that you can include in the article if you want to make it a little spicier. Summarize something in 5 bullets. So you go into a newspaper article and you want a very quick summary. Summarize in prose instead, if you'd rather have that instead of bullets. Summarize meeting notes. I don't have a good example for this, but if you've taken notes from somebody you were talking to, you can get a quick summary of those and pull out action items. Summarize the sentiment about a person. Well, similarly, if I go to, let's say, this other Washington Post article here, and I will run this, it will ask me what person do I care about, and we will say, we'll put the name of somebody in here. There we go. And it says the sentiment is positive, and it highlights certain things about her. Tell me the top 3 concepts is another way of summarizing, but you're just pulling out key concepts. Tell me what this means is good. So if I see something and I'm like, what does that mean? Actually, let's go back to this page. What does quantum, what does this mean? And so I can say, tell me what this means. And it explains these things to me, so I don't have to go do the whole Google dance. Write a newsletter article. So here it'll just ask me for a topic, and I'll say, how about RPA in healthcare? And it is writing a first draft of an article that I can then take and edit. Write a newsletter opinion piece, again on a particular topic. AI will not replace people. and then it's writing a first draft of an opinion piece on that. Write a short bio from a LinkedIn profile. So here I am on my LinkedIn profile. I hit run, and now it's written a short bio for me about like all the things that I've done. And you can edit this to make it shorter or longer or however you want. And then write newsletter industry updates. Once again, it's going to ignore the page on this one and ask you. And I'll say RPA in healthcare. And it will give me just a quick update that I can just use as a thought starter. So, that's a lightning tour of all those skills. One last thing I will show you is that you can add your own buttons to pages to make things super fast for very tasks that you do over and over again. So let's say I just want a button that will always summarize an article in 5 minutes, 5 topics, 5 bullets for me. So I hit add button to page, and I pick where I want to anchor that button. I'm just going to anchor it to the masthead here. And right now that button is anchored to this particular URL, but I'm going to get rid of everything past the WSJ.com, and now it will appear on every page on the Wall Street Journal. And now I can go to any article, and I just always have a summarize button there that I can just very quickly get the summary. And I can change that if the button's too long. I can just make it summarize. I can re-anchor it if it's not in the place that I like. Right there. Okay, good. Now I have a button on every page of the Wall Street Journal that I can very quickly just get a summary of any article. So hopefully that has inspired you to all the different ways that you can use Ask Steve as a journalist in the Journalist Pack. And you should go in and add your own skills, edit these ones, delete the ones you don't want. And hopefully this will make you able to do your job better and faster with the AI intern at your disposal. If you have any feedback or comments, please leave them in our support forum. We'd love to hear how you're using Ask Steve. Thanks.